Friends, so this is a GD section for IUCL, and let me give you a very, very important topic here. And the topic is uniform distribution of wealth is important for development of nation. So it is also mentioned in our constitution that the wealth should be uniformly distributed. It should not be actually concentrated in couple of hands. It should be uniformly distributed. Now we know that there's a inequality rising in India. I mean, rich are becoming very rich, poor are becoming poorer. So that inequality is increasing. So today's topic is about the wealth distribution. It should be uniform. So I give you a couple of minutes to think over this topic. Uniform distribution of wealth important for development of nation. It was recently asked in one of the GDs. You know, power grid. Uh, power grid GDs are going on, and similar GDs keep on going on. So just give yourself a couple of minutes to think over this. So friends, so I think one of you can start the discussion.
So, good morning, everyone. I would
Good
like
evening,
to take this
everyone.
opportunity to
My name
introduce
is
all of you
Diptoray. I am
regarding this group discussion topic, which is on
I
uniform
am
distribution of the wealth, which is quite interesting and the topic of national importance. So, recently, before the election of 2024 Assembly election, we have seen this topic emerged as one of the major topics. As the opposition has very too much introduced it. So uniform distribution has two ways to think. Like so someone people are working hard and they just take from them and just giving to someone else hard earned money. So we need to think in that way also. And as we know that our 80% of the wealth is just concentrated to 1% of our Indian population, and we also need to think about that also. So right now I would like to start this group discussion, and I would like to invite everyone so that everyone can give their valuable points.
good evening.
Yes.
I highly
I
appreciate
completely
your
agree
point.
with
My
hers.
point
Just
that
want to
the
add
wealth should be uniformly distributed, and it is not
difference between
concentrated
the
in the or only one person or only one state, such as in a quick. If we call about the nation, it not only concentrated in the only one state to the development of this state. It should be uniformly distributed in the all the states, such as all the states could be equally developed in this way. And
friends, as we know that the
Maybe-
socio-economic differences are increasing day by day in India because the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. So I think the main one of the main reasons for this in India compared to foreign companies is that like the pay scales of different kinds of jobs in India, there is a huge difference in that. Like all know that engineers and doctors and those kind of professions are paid very well, but other professions which are also important in a country that is maybe diverse or what we call as the low level jobs, the pay scales are very less. So compared to foreign countries, I think this is the main important point that we have, because this is the main reason for the difference in pay scales and the difference in socio-economic status of people.
Also,
Okay, I
also
think
there is like
my line.
I
I
would
would
want
like
to
to
add a
add here
point that is government should take a survey on it, like what should is the wrong in the system. That means government should take on the every section, like should focus on the every parts of the that is the sports, the economy, the in another section should focus on the every section, so that they can get a proper prospects, and also government should hear the people's like what people wants basically. So according to that, if government take actions, then maybe this problem maybe the mitigate. Yes,
yes,
I highly
we are
appreciate to the
seeing that
one of
unemployment.
my fellows with this.
fellow speaker said that the wealth should be distributed equally in the every sector. That's he said that sports and education, such as all the infrastructure, all the. And currently we see that the our sports infrastructure. You see the in the recently the Olympics. They no our due to lack of the sports infrastructure and distribution of the wealth in the distribute and the investment of the sports is due to इसके कम होने के
I
कारण
agree with
and
you.
उसके
I add here
वो
one point that
मतलब डेवलप नहीं हो सकता है, इसीलिए हम ओलंपिक्स
government
में भी
should
लेक हो रहा है,
reform the some
इसीलिए सो
policies.
इट इज
I am
लाइक
agreeing
इट
with
इज
Hence,
my
I think
a
I think
I am
the
agreeing
point I
with
would
one
like
one
to
of
section,
the
add is
one
one
that
of
section
my
of the
fellow
people are
points.
population.
He
facing
said that about the state,
very
like one of
much
the state is
inequality in
getting very
this
developed and other states
nowadays
are
because
not
of
getting developed. One state like Maharashtra has reached the half of the $1 billion economy. But if we have seen the Chhattisgarh and other northeastern states, they haven't reached they don't have any economy also. They are very poor states. So governments
I
also need to
I agree
think
with
about
you.
that, and they
I
I
can
agree with you.
I
But
highly
I
divert
agree
the
with you.
economy in every state,
For that,
and secondly,
government should
direct directly
reform some
transferring money
policies
from
so that
any other hard-earned money to the any other person. It's not right because he's working hard to earn the money. Instead of that, we can give the scholarship to the poorer so that he can get a chance to any learn in any institution so that he can grab a good placement from any companies.
I
yes
yes,
I
yes,
completely
I
agree
agree
with
with
her,
you.
what Harsh just
That's a
said that,
point that
and I
government
think
should
I should we
provide
should
the
also address
education
the
poor
one section
people
of the Indian
uh,
population, that is the middle
that
class people. I think middle class people is the most vulnerable section, which is getting exploited by the system. We have the data that the most like the most amount of taxpayers are the middle class people. The rich people, rich businessmen, they somehow uh, flee the country, and they are avoiding the paying of taxes. We have seen many cases in that context. So I think more stricter laws and uh, laws should be made so that this is stopped, and like
yes,
the
yes,
tax paying is
also one more point.
distributed equally
government should
throughout the
One
country.
more point I would like to add
reform
is
the
that
system law.
we are seeing that nowadays that those people who are in corporate and those people who are serving the nation, but they are in the corporate, they are earning much more. But when we see that those who are daily wage worker and those who work, and sometimes they don't even get their minimum requirements. So the reason is that we are seeing that the government schemes are more focused on increasing the money of those who have more, they can easily earn more money. So that's
Yes, yes, I agree with you. And
And one
government
thing
should
I want to
reform
add, Ankit, that is the
reform so that
government should
poor people
give
can
the every state to the equal money,
it
equal
can
distribution of the money,
get
because
it can
if any state gives the
as
less
a
money.
social status. So it will be help India to uniform means the uniform distribution of will takes place. So government should take some or some make some the norms or policy so the poor people can get education, basic education, and due to the education there are more opportunity to people and the wellness of the India distributed uniformly throughout the nation.
Yes, I am highly
I
agreeing with
completely
my
agree
One
with
thing
fellow
I
what
want
point
to
that
Nagaraj
he
is
add
said
saying.
that
here
I think
about
the
the
that
government should
every
education.
state,
focus. I
Education
think
is
one
the
the
thing I
government
want
basic
to
should
add
right of
that
focus on the
any human
poorer
beings.
people
And
and the
we know
middle
in
class
the
people,
rural areas
and
the
the government should
education is
also
not getting
support
properly reached.
the
So we
small
need
scale
to
like
industries,
we,
like
we need
small
about
businesses that.
education, as one of my friends said, because by giving education, by giving skills of entrepreneurship, they can enhance their skills in different type of business, because business is the key role to develop your nation, and someone can earn money in a very better way. Secondly, if you're talking about the men's and the women's, we have seen a lot of startups have been produced right now in our country, generally by men's only. So we need to think about the women's also, so that we can diverse the this entrepreneurship to the women's and men's also.
yes I
yeah, yeah.
highly appreciated
Harshvardhan, I completely agree with you,
what he said,
because the
and
difference between developing and developed countries is that in developed countries, the major portion of the workforce also includes women. But in India, which is a developing country, women workforce is very much limited. I think the government should focus on how to skill women, and what are the sectors in which women can work and like earn money for them, as well as increase the GDP of the country. So government should focus on certain schemes for women empowerment. And for what I again
And
said before, that
also,
I think we should talk about middle class people more, because the middle class is nowadays is kind of a trap. People are getting trapped in this thing, and they are not able to increase their income, and because of tax, more paying of tax, and the increasing inflation, uh, but they are not able to increase their income, so that they are
Yes,
getting trapped in those vicious cycle.
Yeah. I agree
yes,
with
I
you, my
agree with
friend. There is a one
Sainas.
MLA also raised the point that the taxes lying on the bikes or cars like 18 to 12%, but the taxes on the helicopter is 5%. Means there is a clear gap on taxes. So that's why the richer means rich people become richer and poor people become poor. So there should be a high taxes on these highly costly items, so such that we can the tax amount we can utilize in anywhere, so we can empower the poor or middle class people.
and I
Yes, I
want to
agree,
add
but
a point, that is
because we are seeing that prices of
every
the
state
goods are also
got the
rising.
equal
So
money,
because the prices of the goods are
because of the
rising, we
at
see
the
that no
poorer.
one can make that savings. So people are
Right.
not able to save that much after that. So or also we see that when people have to spend much on their daily use items, so poor people don't have that capacity to save that much. So that's why they are getting more poor, because savings is an issue that they are not able to
Right.
save.
Yes, I highly
I
appreciate
think
to the
and
government
one
should
of
there
the
is
focus.
points.
also lack
I
of, I
think
think there is
I
a
government
lack
also
of
because
add
of
to
the
the one
education
more thing, that
in
that the
terms of
infrastructure
finance
for
in people.
also
the
People are
in
not,
poor
a
money.
lack of
people
the
do not
That's
know how to
why
invest their
that's
money
why
and how to increase their portfolio. People only earn money and they spend. There is no education of a
Investment.
proper investing money and all kinds of things. If people
Right.
try to if people know that how to invest their money, they can increase it in many folds. But like middle class people and poor people do not have the knowledge of investing. They don't have that idea only. So I think it is a responsibility of the government, and
Yes.
we also to spread the awarenesses of people. If I talk about
I agree with
investing, like share markets and mutual funds, people nowadays, like still now, people they fear from these things. They think that this is
you.
kind of a gamble, but it is not that kind of thing. So I think it is our
I
duty and the
agree also.
government's duty to spread awarenesses. Yeah.
If we're talking
I
about the
agree with
government institution like the IITs, NITEs, and AIMs, there are some like provision, like if your parents' income is below 5 lakh, you should have to pay only say 25% of fees. If your parents' income is less than 1 lakh, you should have to pay only you should have to pay nil. And if your parents' income is above 5 lakhs, you should have to pay whole the fees. So I think this is a good move by the government, so that every people of the society can get a chance to learn in the higher education, also in like IITs, NITs, AIMS. If we know the price of medical in the private sector, it reaches the crores, and it is huge for any poor people, and even the middle class people. Only the people who are above middle class can get the chance to learn into this institution. So I
Yes, I
think in
agree with
private
you.
Yes,
sector
I
also
highly appreciate to the
we
my
need some
fellow
subsidized
speakers
rate
that
so that everyone can learn it.
what Hospadan saying, see that
Actually, the idea
that
of middle class has
that the
changed a
higher
lot in the last
about see
10 years. I think
he tell about the higher studies. Then I also tell about that nowadays क्या हो रहा है कि ये जो सिविल सर्विस में भी कौन लोग जा रहे हैं जो मतलब जो फाइनेंशियली कैपेबल है, जो मतलब हाई कोचिंग करके मतलब हाई हाई अमाउंट ऑफ जो पर हाई अमाउंट पे करना पड़ता है। तो जो मतलब फाइनेंशियली इशू है उनको, वो लोग मतलब ये सब कोचिंग वगैरह नहीं ले सकते, इसलिए वो इस फील्ड में मतलब पार्टिसिपेट कम कर रहा है। तो दिस इज ऑल्सो इशू in the
Yes, yes,
uniformly
I
distribution of
agree.
the
I want to
And
talk
Yeah,
about
completely
one thing,
agree
that
with
is
one
if
more
I
Vikas.
talk
other
about the
point of
sports
view of the
section, and
health
if I
sector,
talk about
there
the
should be
sports section,
reform
the government
focus
should
on the
give the
middle
proper
class
amount of
poor
every
family
equal
health,
distribution of
so
each
that
section
it
of the sports,
cannot be
because
it
cricket is
cannot
only
be
one section
vested
of in
in the health.
India which and government should give more money. But I think in every section, like in other sports also, government should invest in other like other money, like in the Olympics, like javelin throw is one of the section, like Neeraj Chopra. Before Neeraj Chopra Olympics, winning the gold medal in Olympics, we like many people didn't know even the javelin. So government should give focus on the all equal sports, like you invest like in all the equal amount of money in all sports. So that is one of my points. Yes.
Friends,
Yes,
I
yes.
think we're
I
getting a
think
little bit
I would
deviated
like
from our
to.
topic. Let's come to our topic.
Yes, yes, I am also
What is
thinking that.
given?
Like
I think we should
the
discuss
wealth
about
distribution
like
about
the
the
poor
poor
people
and the
and the
rich people, I think.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
I would like to
Let's
point
continue.
So
here
I
that we also should focus on the health of the people, because there is some health issue is come in the middle class and poor family which they don't afford. So government should provide some the scheme to them so they can sustain the health issue, so that the money should not be wasted in the health. So I think it could be a best policy if the yeah, government.
Basically, the government should focus on the basic necessities of the people. Like we, as we say, roti, kapda, makan. That is the food, like home shelter, and their like medical facilities. These are the basic needs of
Yes,
people,
yes, health
and
is
like
also
these are basic needs,
important.
and every person should be accessible to these kind of things, irrespective of their socio-economic status. So the government should make sure that every person get these like these basic necessities. So
yes,
in
I'm
that case,
highly
our differences between the classes will like reduce.
Yes, I'm highly appreciate my
And
earlier point
also
as you
in
said that the
education,
government should
and
have to
once.
give some medical facilities. But if we say about the today's government, they are generally giving the many healthcare facilities like hospital cards, and they are giving also homes and Ujjwala Yojana. There are many type of yojanas are giving to the poorer people. But talking about the middle class people, there is nothing. We just paying the tax, and government also should need to think about the middle class people also, because richer are getting richer, and they get benefited because they have money, who are getting the freebies of the government, and middle class get nothing, just they are paying the taxes. So if
Yeah,
government
Harshvardhan.
think about the middle class, then obviously we as a society will definitely grow up, and our India's economy is going to be increasing in future.
Another
I
issue
want to
which
add
I
a
will like
point
to
here. If we talk about the infrastructure, that is the in education sector, like the all IITs and NITs gets more fund. But what about the state government college, state medical college? They didn't get even proper fund. So I think government should take care of that also. Or like central government and state government both will be take care of that, about the state infrastructure, state college infrastructure and medical infrastructure, so that everyone get equal facility, because both people have not go for the private medical college, or both for the not go for the private engineering college. So he should go the private like government medical college. So I think that is the one of the points.
Yeah, our
Both should
friend
be the taken
Sudipto
care
has
of.
raised a very good point
also.
that the differences between private organizations and public organizations, be it medical, education, or any kind of thing, I think that difference should be less, because there are, because most of the poor people, they avail public services like public hospitals, like government colleges, but that like the conditions of those public organizations are not very good. So I think this is a high time that government should start focusing on this government hospitals and government institutions, so that their conditions improve.
We also see that like if in the new startups and all that, government is providing them benefits, but still they are not receiving that much growth. So that is because of the income inequality. So if like if any young person wants to start a startup, then there are some some people invest in that, but we see that they are not growing at that scale. That is because only a few companies are being able to capture the market. other companies like all the small scale industry is not able to only we see that only the large scale industry are able to provide so only those people have more income other industries are not and other industry people not get.
Yes, I am highly agreeing with my colleague's point. Like he wants to say that the monopoly in the market is the main reason that the one of the society is getting richer and richer, and one of the society get poorer and poorer. They are just buying the things from the richer, and they just paid them. Instead of we as a society have to think about like how we can still the poor, how can we reach the poor areas and different type of poor people. As we see, the most of the states in northeastern they don't have in they don't even have a one companies. But if you're talking about the Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, they have a lot of companies. Why companies are not investing there? We need to invest everywhere so that every society can get get into the average of of our society.
I agree with
I
you.
want to add a point that is if we talk about the today's India's uniform distribution, then something like uniform distribution of wealth in development of nations is related to like kind of a politics. Like if government has like central government ruling party and state government is ruling party is equal same, so they get benefited, and if not same, they don't get benefited. Like it's like this kind of equal like politics are related to when we are talking about the like development of nation, but it shouldn't be there. Equal of distribution politics is something that is the different thing. But in when it's come to the development of nation, I think state government and the central government should come into the stand in front of the nation, and should take care of the like what we'll need to do actually basically to proper like infrastructure
Yes, exactly.
education
Like the
putting
state, for
everything
example,
together.
states where
So
the
that's
central
one of
government
my point.
is not present, so those states generally deprived of the allocation of wealth. Generally, we see that there is a political connection, and the states where the central government is present, so those states are generally funded more. So this thing is very like very bad, and this thing should not happen. The allocation of wealth should be distributed throughout the like equally throughout the state, irrespective of the political parties present there. I think this is
Okay.
also a major issue.
So I think we start conclusion now. Anybody wants to conclude?
Friends, I would like
Friends, I
to
would like
take the
to conclude
opportunity to
this
conclude the
topic,
group discussion.
conclude the
So I
discussion.
think,
And so I
friends,
think
we
this is
had
friends.
quite a
This is a
dynamic
quite
discussion. I think we shared a lot of things together. We shared our different perspectives. So I would like to I have jotted down the points that we have discussed. First, we have discussed about the differences between rich and poor. And the reasons of it, the reasons we have discussed is that the difference in pay scales of different kind of jobs that are present in India compared to the like developed countries. Also, the exploitation of poor people and middle class people is also the major reasons of the discrimination here. Next, we talked about tax paying, that maximum taxpayers are middle class and lower middle class people, and somehow the rich people escape tax paying or they flee to other countries. Then we talked about the basic necessities that every individual should get, like the health, education, and sports, that is also lacking in our country. Also, lastly, we talked about the improper allocation of wealth in different states in India. There is a political connection. So I think we had a quite a dynamic discussion and a fruitful one as well. And I hope that whatever we have discussed today, we as a individual also implement in whatever way we can. So yeah, I thank you or everyone to participate in the group discussion, and let's conclude here.
Okay.
I would like thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you for providing me the opportunity to conclude. So, sir, we in this we have seen that the main conclusion is that the wealth is being concentrated more and more in the only the hands of the rich people because they have the monopoly in the to how to use them or how to use the resources and how to build more marketing strategies. So all this monopoly is now being given to the rich people, and also we are seeing that in agricultural sector and daily wage workers, these are the people who are more susceptible to like some health problems if they have any issues and health problem, they are not getting that in their areas. So and also the savings, we see that the savings of some poor people are declining, and they are only able to manage for few days. And also we must provide the basic services in every area, so that they can save their money and they can use there. And government should also help in that.
Okay, Vikas.
Uh, I get to I glad to I glad to conclude this discussion. And this is today's topic is about uniformly distributed wealth, and we all discussed in the very well, very healthy point. Some of the fellow mates still first we start about the some of the fellow mates said about the middle class, which is the mainly disappoint जो जिसका मतलब काफी से जो पोर है उसको तो मिल रहा है, लेकिन मिडिल क्लास को नहीं मिल रहा है, और जो हायर क्लास का है उसको तो मिल ही रहा है। ये सब डिस्कस किया, फिर हम डिस्कस किए कि एनआईटी और आईआईटी एनआईटी को अब ज्यादा प्रेफरेंस दे रहा है कि, और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को फंडिंग कम कम हो रहा है। तो एंड यस दिस इज व्हाट आई।
Okay, Sudipto.
Yes, sir. I want to conclude this like unequal distribution, uniform distribution of the wealth. Basically, government should focus on the in each sector like education, the sports, the infrastructure. So basically, that way we, and also the government should focus on the more on the like schemes, and more on the education like scholarship, so that middle class family and poor family also get a chance to go in the to get a proper education, get a proper sports facility, get a proper infrastructure. So this is the most fruitful discussion. So I thank you all for to participate in this group discussion. So thank you.
Hmm. Okay, I think Harshvardhan.
So thank you everyone for your valuable points. Now I would like to conclude the group discussion. So we have very important points like as we said that the 80% of the wealth is only concentrated to the 1% of the people, which is very bad for our Indian economy. So we need to think about the poor also. As we told that in IITs there's a society like if the income of the parents is less than 1 lakh, we should have to pay zero. If it is up to 5 lakh, we should have to pay 25% of fees, and if it is above that, we should have to pay we should have to pay full fees. But instead of that, if we're talking about the private sector, the fees of the medical is getting to the crores, which is not affordable to the poorest. So government should have to think about that also. And we are talking about the taxation, like who are getting benefited by the government, and richer is already getting benefited, but the middle class is not getting benefited. They are just paying the taxes, and they are in the middle class trap. So if middle class is getting richer, they are going to upper middle class, and if the poor are getting richer, they are going to middle class. That's why we are getting into the uniform health distribution. Instead of taking wealth from someone and distribute to any other else, so it is not a good way. Instead of that, we need to educate the poor people so that they can increase their wealth by their own. So thank you, sir.
Okay, now Chaudhary.
Yes, sir. Okay, friends. Now I conclude the group discussion. It was a very fruitful group discussion, and we could reach the consensus. There are some important points we highlight in the discussion that there should be the tax distribution should be re-uniform so that for costly items that we should high taxes, and like there is some the general things there should be low taxes so that the poor and middle class people can benefit that from. And we also raise some health related issue and education related. So the government should provide the health people so that it can benefit it from that. The health and education sector should be provided by the poor and middle class people, so it can be the wealth should be the savings should not be gone for the middle class and poor people. Thank you.
Okay. So now everybody has participated in this discussion, and let me discuss with you this now part. So, first of all, none of you could understand the properly the topic. Topic was uniform distribution of wealth is important for India, development of the nation. That was the topic. So you have to talk about the topic actually, very close to the topic. Uniform distribution of wealth is important for development of nation. That is the topic. So from the very beginning, from the introduction, you have to support, you have to say something about this. No doubt, Harshvardhan started this discussion and he said, okay, the topic given is, I mean, you should name the topic. The French topic given for the discussion is uniform distribution of wealth is important for the development of nation. I fully agree with the statement. That is true. Why it is? Because when the wealth is uniformly distributed, it goes to every citizen. And when every citizen has a wealth, automatically country develops. Now, I think we should discuss this topic in the categories of like why in India wealth is not uniformly distributed as of now. Because in India, wealth is not uniformly distributed. And what can be done to distribute that uniformly? And how uniform distribution of wealth is linked to the development of the nation. These three things. That was the topic. So you guys from the very beginning started telling about that ununiform, non-uniform distribution of the wealth. But in the topic, it is not mentioned that the wealth is not uniformly being distributed. It is said that uniform distribution of wealth is important for development of the nation. So you have to agree with the statement, and then you have to say that okay, wealth should be uniformly distributed, and what are the factors why it is not uniformly distributed. And after that, some of you, most of you actually deviated from the topic. They were talking something related to different things. Like Sudipto, you were talking about sports, and 2, 3 times you mentioned about the sports. You should never talk about the same topic again and again because that does not give you marks. In fact, there's a penalty for that. So you should talk about some new top points every time. You should not talk about the same thing again and again. And how the sports was linked to your point, how you were linking sports with the uniform distribution of wealth.
Sir, I was saying ki, in the sports, like cricket is only the focused point of like everything. Like the government is paying like more, investing like more money in the cricket, and while in other like badminton is there, the table tennis, the long tennis is there, and also media is somewhat related to that. Like in the when it's like open the TV, the cricket is like highlights of the cricket is going on and all. But I am not like very much seeing like any other games like also in there is one game is coming like javelin throw. It is not there in much earlier before 2020. So that is my point. Like every game
Okay,
should
so
be properly focused and every money should be.
so if you're to link it, you can always link that okay, even in the games and sports, people are using betting, and because of the betting, a lot of money gets circulated, and there's a lot of money flow in a couple of hands only due to betting, due to some of the sports like cricket and all. So that also leads to some extent to the concentration of the wealth. Topic here, uniform distribution of wealth. So as sports you take or anything you take, you have to somewhere link it with that. Vikas spoke about the states. He said not every state is equally rich. And then Harshvardhan talked about Maharashtra versus Chhattisgarh or something. So not every state is equally rich. So what is the reason for that? That means ours is a federal structure. India is a federal structure. There is a GST. Central government collects the tax. Majority of that goes to central government, and then central government is to distribute money. Now you could have given the example like in this time budget, the two key allied partners of NDA government, present government, that is TDP in Andhra Pradesh and Bihar mein, the political party. So these, because they are supporting to the central government, so they were given more money. These two states, you know. So it should not be politically driven. This phenomena should not be politically driven because that leads to concentration of wealth in some states and other states do not have money.
Sir, I
That
have
also can
I
happen.
have I told this point. I told this point like politics things are involved here, so that
Ah,
for
but you
leads
have
to
to
the
link it.
unequal.
but you have to link it with examples and to make things clear. Otherwise, if you simply say, okay, sports is also the reason, the how it is the reason and how it will lead to uniform development of the country, that you need to make it a point. And also, then, some like even corruption is a very big reason of non-uniform distribution of wealth. Because of corruption, some people, amass wealth, accumulate wealth. We can give example of Kingfisher, Vijay Mallya, or many other people who are outside and they are for having money, Indian money in Swiss banks and all. That is also black money, whatever we call. So the government always said that black money should be brought back and all, because that is a concentration of the wealth. That also is not good. That also you could have talked about.
So I said
And
this thing that certain people flee the country, but can you take names, sir? Like, uh,
you can take some names. Obviously, Vijay Mallya, you can take that. That is not a wrong. I mean, it's a well open now, open secret. What is the problem in taking the names? Something which is not proved, that you can avoid, but something which is visible now, already guilty. So you can take these names. Cyan said pay scale different for different people. That also can be elaborated further. It can be elaborated. Especially in the private government sector, mein, salaries are more or less same. I mean, the big difference is not there. But private mein, CEO salary and PN salary is a huge difference. And even the owner of particular organization, their wealth is different, but the workers working is entirely different. So that also is a huge difference actually. Real estate and crony capitalism. Crony capitalism is monopolistic. I mean, one particular person becoming very rich, one business house becoming very rich. Business and politics nexus should not be there. Politician business nexus should not be there. That also you have to avoid. That also you have to take care. So, women empowerment, how it is related? Because if equal pay for equal work is not given to women, obviously this is not equal distribution of wealth to citizens. Women and men are citizens. 50% of population is women. If woman is not paid duly, I mean the amount which she deserves, then obviously the distribution of the wealth is not uniform. In that case, country will not develop. Obviously, if money goes to the woman, the country will develop. So, and then Chaudhary, you were talking about the tax system. There's a progressive tax and there's a retrogressive tax. Progressive tax means that as you keep on getting more money, you have to pay more tax. In India, progressive taxation system should be there. Like if your wealth is less, then you have to pay less tax. If your income is less, you have to pay less tax. But if your income goes up, you have to pay more tax. That actually helps to make the distribution of wealth equal, something like that. So these points were to be given. So not very relevant points you people have spoken. And Harshvardhan, Sayan, and this Sudipto spoke today. Vikas started speaking earlier. Vikas was not speaking, but today Vikas spoke. As of now, Chaudhary and Shikhar, you are to speak more. So, if you ask me very nicely who were participating, then Sayan and Harshvardhan, these two. If I'm to pass, I'll pass only these two candidates today. Border at the border standing are Sudipto and Vikas. You need to speak more, and Chaudhary and Shikhar will be rejected straight. So you need to start speaking first, and slowly you come. Like today, also Shikhar took a lot of time to enter. So Shikhar raised a good point about daily wage earner people, that they get very less. Daily wage earner are very less. You people could have talked about workforce and unorganized sector, the salary in the unorganized sector. Their skill enhancement is very, very important to increase the income. So the person who does not have skill is earning very less amount, 400, 300 rupees per day. He can't survive. He cannot grow. Development will not be there, because any country will develop if people will develop. People will develop if they will get good salary. They will get good salary if skill is there. So you can link this entire thing to the skill actually. That is what you have to do. So Shikhar, don't delay, don't enter at the last. So Shikhar and Chaudhary were the last two people to enter the discussion. You should try to enter early. in the first 3-4 candidates.
Yes.
Somebody will enter late at the end. Obviously, we know that. But why you want to be that fellow? So you train yourself so that you enter early. So speaking and participation, because there are so many now GDs are being provided to you. Tomorrow also there are so many sessions of Shikha madam, Shubhya madam. I am also giving. So try to do as many sessions as possible and improve yourself. It does not come easy. You have to practice it and do it a
So,
lot, right?
so I have one doubt. Like I had
Hmm.
one point, like totally uniform distribution of wealth is also not good. Like if everyone is getting to the same scale, no one will work from anyone. So this point is correct or not? Like if you're saying
Tell
that,
me again.
so like totally uniform distribution of wealth is also not good. If everyone is getting to the same scale, no one will work for anyone. So I think this is all not good for
Hmm.
our Indian economy.
No, no.
So this point is
Uniform distribution of wealth does not mean that income will be same. It is not. Wealth and salary is different thing. Wealth and
okay.
salary is different thing. Wealth is something resource of the country. We are not talking about the salary only. Salary is only one component of wealth. When you say your father is wealthy, he may not be having much income, but has a lot of property. So
Yes.
wealth and salary are their difference also. It is not that everybody is getting the same salary. No. And obviously, if somebody is qualified, he will get more. But it should not get
Yes.
improportionally more. When we talk about Ambanis and Adanis, what Ambanis have done? 5,000 crore on the marriage itself. Now that is a filthy display of the wealth actually. They're very wealthy. So 5,000 crore distributed to poor people, that would have been better actually. So huge money, because they become very wealthy group now, Reliance. So very wealthy. For them it is very, he's also Indian. Another side is also another India where they are not getting food to eat. So
Yes.
wealth distribution has become unequal in India. Some people have a lot of wealth. Some people do not have food to eat. That is a wealth distribution. Obviously, some CEO working in a company, you can't expect him to get a same salary as PN. You can't expect him. That individual difference will always be there and should be there. But that is not a problem. That is in developed countries also.
Yes.
Developed countries also, very poor is not very, very poor. So that is the main thing. I mean, a basic minimum requirement of life are met of poor. Right. So that's what, friends, you have to, practice. That is how it is to be done, right? Do more practice, and that is where you have to do it. Anything else you want to ask? Chalo, work then a lot and move forward in this, right? Thank you.
Thank you.